someone who hasn't done it.
True. I don't know, people complain about like the difficulty or whatever, but it's really not that bad. You just have to take the stuff off the back of the engine.
That's a computer part, right?
Mm-hmm. And the way they do these, there's two separate ground things on here, and they have their own separate screws, which this one's not too bad because it's up here, but the other one is down here. And usually it's difficult to reattach, so usually I just hook it up to one of the bolts here. But I don't know why they didn't just put the ground things on the, you know, the big connectors. But it is what it is, I guess. You can't change it, so.
It is a really awkward spot though, and I'm surprised that like the V6s are like put this way in instead of like this. It's like switched.
Well, this is the way they do it. Have to do it for the front wheel drive, so that's the way it goes.
Oh, is that the way for all front wheel drive V6s or V8s?
Almost all front wheel drive cars in general have the engine going sideways. They call it transversely because it makes for better packaging. Like the engine's here and the transmission's right there under the turbo, and it gives you more room in the cabin for people and whatever to do it that way. If you did it long ways, longitudinally, like a rear wheel drive car, for a V6 it's kind of squarish, so it wouldn't really make a ton of difference. But for like an inline four, you know, instead of going like this, this would have to go back a couple inches, which means less room inside. Yeah. So it's has packaging benefits, but on the other hand, it's not necessarily for whatever. That's just the way it was easier back in the day. Like the old Saab 900s had the engine that way. They were kind of weird though. The way they set that up, the way the 900 did it, which I guess makes sense if you kind of think about it, but it's still weird. The way they set it up is so, you know, on this side of the engine here is like the accessories, like the alternator and power steering pump and whatever. And normally on a rear wheel drive car or whatever, something with the engine, yeah, they're on the front. Yeah. But on the 900, they flipped it around and it's on the back. And the power end of the engine, the power end of the crankshaft is at the front of the car. And they hook it up through a chain to the clutch. And then the transmission forms the oil pan. The top of the transmission is the oil pan for the engine. The transmission is directly beneath the engine on the old 900s. Which, it works, I guess, but it's kind of weird.
Probably a pain to work on.
I don't know, they're not too bad. I wouldn't want to work on them every day, but also because parts are really hard to find for them now. But Saab announced they're bringing back 900 parts for the classic 900 because now they're
getting popular.
Because it's a classic car now. The newest ones are 1994s, so it's beginning to enter like classic status. But it'll never be like really valuable because they made so many of them. But in another 5 or 10 years, a really good one might be worth $20,000 or so.
Oh, so that's where the 4 bolts were?
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna have to take, I just want to remove the minimum amount of stuff possible because then it'll take less time. Well, sometimes it doesn't take less time if you remove less stuff, but I see it, so let's see if I can get away with just taking this off and then reaching it.
I mean, why couldn't you just have taken this off with that, not have come off with it? Or
because for some reason there's a third bolt behind here that this slides down onto, and I suppose if it was my own car and for some reason I was changing the coils a lot, I would probably just leave this bolt off, so I could do that. But you just have to loosen this bolt a bit, and it should slide off.
Pretty dark as...
Yeah, I know. Great for photography. See, this slides down onto another bolt, and that's why you can't just undo this. Which
yeah,
I agree. When I first did this, I thought, well, why couldn't I do that? And it's because I put that stupid third bolt there. Okay, so we're gonna need.
I remember him saying something about this, but I don't think it doesn't seem like it's that much in the way to move.
It's not this pipe. There's another one that goes kind of down here and then back around that usually breaks.
Yeah,
I am gonna have to remove that. There's not quite enough space. The connections at the check valves there become brittle with the heat, and then they break. Oops, we're gonna have to get a new one of those. Alright, that's just a regular 10mm bolt.
Can't even see, it just disappears.
I think it went between this heat shield and the engine, so we're probably never gonna get it back unless you take
Oh, I see it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, look. See that?
Oh yeah, I do see it. Let me get a magnet, I might be able to do that.
That's...
Probably can. Yep, got it. Whoops. Now it's really a goner. Okay, now I can get the coil out.
Can't even...
I know, you can't even see anything. There it is.
I can't even imagine. I can't even, like...
Might have to get a screwdriver to pull this off. Yep, I think so. There we go. Well, this was a good one. Gosh, I get just wore out. Kind of
dirty.
Yeah. The Turbo X uses a different spark plug than the regular V6.
Oh yeah, aren't they like NGK or something?
Yeah, all the Saabs use NGK resistor spark plugs. The Turbo X uses a different one. Chris, the guy here who has a Turbo X, he switched his plugs out one day with ones for a regular V6 that we had on the shelf, and it ran like crap. Let me...
Or are you doing that harness thingy or whatever, those pipes?
This is a tube that feeds vacuum to your brake booster, so pretty important. Without it, you wouldn't have power brakes. Let me get some pliers that'll make it.
I don't know if you need the flashlight. I mean, I feel like it would help.
More light never hurts.
As long as it's not in your eyes.
That's right. See you, buddy. See you later. There we go.
So, what part broke off that?
This piece here, this is where they usually break for whatever. They just get brittle, and you just look at it wrong and it falls apart. So we've always got a few of these on the shelf.
Four bolts to put on the, or 2 ground wires actually.
No,
right?
this holds in these tubes here, or whatever they do. I think they're for the evap system. But they're important to put in because they go into the intake manifold, and if they're out, you'll have a vacuum leak and the car probably wouldn't run. Well, it wouldn't run well at least. There's that. I guess I'll bolt this down, and then I read that that one's a little tricky, but not awful.
Oh, that was like a...
Not the most essential thing on the car, but it's good to have. Now we just have to bolt this stuff back on, and it's all done.
That wasn't too bad.
No, not bad at all. I don't think at least.
So just rebolting that screw that slid over.
Yep. Yep, and the 2 on the top. Which, oh, and I'm gonna have to get another one because I lost that one. But that's okay.
It's still science. It's often not a straight line of success. Traveled by 140,000 researchers. Message from America's Bible.
This one's a little different. It's got a separate washer on it, but it should fit. Yeah, there we go.